probably one of the things that's mostly overlooked for tire care is just deflating your tires when you get onto any gravel road. I normally run the front about 1.4 bar and the back, when I'm loaded like I am now, I go about 1.6 bar. It just helps maintain the tires. You've got less chance of getting punctures because the tire's a little bit softer, so it absorbs the rocks a little bit better, and it's less wear and tear in your car because you've got a little bit of a softer tire, so it actually adds to the suspension, so less vibrations on it, the drivetrain, your shocks. It's much more comfortable for the people inside the car. So it takes you 10 minutes to do, and it might save you a couple of $1,000 because you're going to save a tire or two. So take your time, even when you get on tracks like this. We've got about 13 k's of gravel road, which is it's probably not going to be too corrugated. And that's another thing, if you don't deflate your tires, that's what's causing corrugations on roads, is because of not tires being deflated enough, and it's too firm, and it wears the road out a little bit easier and quicker. So just take your time and take some pressure out of your wheels, and you'll have a more comfortable ride, and you help the people behind you as well. In a couple of weeks they'll have a better road to drive on. So we're doing a weekend getaway. We'll be doing 2 routes this weekend, which we'll shoot and review. We're going to do Leeuwenboschfontein first, and this night will be Leeuwenbosch, and we're going to do the trail as soon as we get here. We're actually turning into Leeuwenboschfontein at the moment, and tomorrow night we are going to do Gekko Rock. These are some of the top 10 trails in the Western Cape. I do think Leeuwenboschfontein is one of the top trails in Southern Africa. So quite keen to see it. It's apparently quite tough, very steep and shady climbs. So I think we're going to get straight into it. Just arriving, it looks beautiful here. I'll get ourselves sorted and deflate and hit the trail.
Leeuwenboschfontein 4x4 trail started when previous owner Jannie Du Plessis made a couple of roads to reach the outskirts of his farm and the highest point on the farm. Friends and family tried this route, and their unanimous opinion was that this has the making of an excellent 4x4 mountain trail and can definitely cater for most of the off-road vehicles on the market today. The 20-kilometer mountain trail starts at the main house, from where it winds through the typical Renosterveld, descending through some ditches and climbing over several small inclines. There's a couple of sections where you would definitely need low range, and some vehicles may be Deflating. So when reaching the peak of this route, you can enjoy 360 views from within this shelter, surrounded by a luxury of built-in working services for preparing a meal, sufficient seating and a cozy central fireplace. At the top there's parking for 25 vehicles, and the route is rated as a grade 3 route. However, there is sections that is grade 4, and if you really want to test yourself, there is a couple of obstacles that can be close to a grade 5.
Okay, we've got quite a nice little steep climb up the mountain now, so as you can see it's quite rocky. Let's walk up Danny. This part here, I won't say it's extremely steep, but it's very rocky, so you actually just want to try and take your time. So I would suggest first gear low range all the way up to the top there where Linda's standing, because you don't want the car bouncing, you don't want to go too quickly, so you want nice control, you don't want it kicking out rocks. So first gear low range will give you a lot of control. The car will pretty much climb this by itself. So this is the top when you get to Leeuwenboschfontein, when you get to, I must move my hat, when you get to the top of Leeuwenboschfontein 4x4 trail, you get greeted with this beautiful scenic view. You can overlook the valley, the mountains. Hopefully you can see that all the way down there, all the way down there. It's literally just mountains. You can still see there on that side of the mountain there is some snow still on the mountains there, but you've got this boma where you can sit, have lunch, braai. I know people that's camped up here, but it gets cold and windy, and it's, I don't know if it's worth it. It's literally a 5k drive back to the farm where there's stunning campsites, there's off the grid campsites, there's lodging, there's huts you can rent. We're going to do one of the off the grid campsites I think tonight, so I'll take some videos and photos of that. But this is the Lapo where you can Brian come have a good time. This is 2 hours drive out of Cape Town. It's so worth it to come and experience this. I mean, we're so grateful to live in this part of the country, but be warned, this is not a track you want to come practice on. This shouldn't be your first outing with your new 4x4. Go and do grade 1, grade 2 tracks before you get here, because I think there's a section today we got to a 38-degree climb. I might be wrong, but that's what the guy said. And not difficult, but you got to have your wits about you.
Nice little starter.
Nice little starter fillet.
You see? Good.
Oh, whoa, shit. Pizza
This is looking like a cracker.
on the barbie.
Mm?
Look at this beauty.
So this is normally how the morning starts. Jockey? Jock. You're sitting here with your cup of coffee, dude. Hey? A little bit far away from your coffee, Jockey.
Hey, stop it.
Mac. Wat maak jy? Wat maak jy? Hey? Wat maak jy, dude?
Say morning, chocks.
Huh? So today we're going to leave for Gekko Rock. We've had an awesome night stay at Leeuwenboschfontein. It's a beautiful campsite here, and we're one of the first people to use it. It's a new campsite. You've got another one down at the river, and then you've got 2 off-the-grid sites, which you can also use. We opted for this because this is nice and grass. Ooh, almost slipped, and very private. You've got your own ablution facilities, same with that campsite there. So it's lovely just to come park off here for a weekend, just to come and relax. There's a lot of hikes, trails. If you love mountain biking, 4x4 track, you can take a drive up to the mountain, go have a braai at the boma. It's really a lovely place. It's well thought out. There's huts, lodging. They sell homemade breads. There's wood. Got a little tuck shop there with all the niceties. Proper boerekos. So no, it's a very nice place. The mountains are beautiful. It's such a lovely view all around you. It's just literally mountains, and that's the farmhouse there. But you're so private, so it's well worth it. It's a lovely place to come and visit. 2 hours drive for a little bit of a peaceful weekend. Well worth it. Okay, so this is the 4x4 track, Seattle track at Gekko Rock, and it's rated as a grade 4 track. So I've gone down to 1 bar in the front and 1.2 in the back because I'm not sure what it's going to be like, but apparently it's very technical and there's a couple of climbs, so we're going to go check it out. This is the start of it. It's a 12-kilometer track, but apparently stunning. So let's go see what it's about. Okay, so this is quite a little serious climb. Steepish, not too steep, but there's a lot of rock steps which you really got to get your tire placement correct. It's better walking these things before you just attempt it. Just make sure where your high points are going to be for your tires, because you can seriously damage your car on this one. So I suggest just walk it, choose your line and commit to it. Alright, so if you like this episode, please like and subscribe and follow our journey.